So welcome back to part 3 of the creativity series, and to day 2. Now, up to now, I've always said with any of our meditations that the best way of getting an experience of them is to try them, and that actually the confidence and the trust you have in the practice should be entirely experiential. So if you try something and it works for you, then there's a sense of confidence which naturally arises and which inspires you to continue. And I think this particular technique really kind of asks a lot in that sense, just in terms of sitting with a sense of confidence and belief, if you like, that there is this place of creativity, this place of stillness within you. However you like to think about it, whether you find that idea of blue sky from earlier in the Headspace journey a useful kind of reference point, however it is you think about it, knowing that as you sit and you visualize that image within the form of the body, that sense of spaciousness, that as you visualize that, there's a feeling, a confidence that within that space exists the potential for everything. It's a place of spontaneity, of creativity from which anything can arise. And I think as long as that feeling is sort of maintained, not in a forced way in any way, but just a very gentle sort of confidence and belief, then actually something quite kind of magical can take place. For now, though, just take a moment or two to get comfortable. And when you're ready, you can begin by taking some nice big deep breaths. And with the next out breath now, just gently closing the eyes and allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out through the nose. As you take just a moment or two to become more aware of all the different physical senses, both the sensations of touch in the body, but also of sound, of smell, anything that takes you out of the mind and brings you into the body. And as you become more aware of those different physical senses, becoming increasingly aware of how the body feels. So not carrying an idea from a previous day, but noticing how the body feels right now, in this moment. And as always, just gently scanning down through the body from head to toe, just so you get a clearer picture of that feeling. At the same time, just starting to notice the emotional quality of the mind, the emotional tone of mind right now. Reminding yourself, asking yourself why you're doing what you're doing right now, being clear about your motivation. As always, being clear that as part of that motivation is the recognition that others get to benefit as a direct result of you taking the time out and sitting to do this meditation. Just reflecting on who those people might be. And knowing, remembering that it's a very gentle sense of confidence and awareness that you sit there with throughout the meditation, requiring very little effort and no control whatsoever. So now just allowing the attention to shift to that rising and falling sensation in the body, taking the time to notice where in the body you feel it, the rhythm of that breath. And then after a little while, if you find it comfortable, just counting those breaths as the mind begins to settle, or as you become more aware of the busyness of the mind. So now, just as you did yesterday, imagining that pinprick of light appearing in the middle of the body, about the height of the chest. In many ways, the smallness of it magnifies its intensity. So again, all the qualities of sunlight. It's as though within that pinprick of light is the potential for everything. The potential for every creative, spontaneous thought or feeling which has ever or could ever arise in the mind. And once that's clear in the mind, it's as though this process begins almost in and of itself, where it just slowly begins to expand outwardly, quite slowly at first, expanding in every direction. As it expands, it maintains all of those qualities of brightness, of spaciousness, of warmth. There's no feeling of needing to do anything. It's as though you're just watching this process unfold. When it's filled, the trunk of the body continuing outwards in every direction. It fills the arms and the hands, the legs and the feet. The neck, the throat and the head, until the entire body, entire form or outline of the body is just filled with that very clear image of space, sunlight, creating a very sort of spacious and light feeling to the mind. And because there's no particular movement within that image, it can be helpful just to focus on the form of the body, or the external outline of the body, not in a very solid way, but just to help maintain the focus and the attention on that space of lightness and of warmth. Remember sitting there with very quiet and gentle confidence, knowing that it's from that space that creativity arises. So So allowing thoughts and feelings to come and go, not getting carried away by them, not resisting them, but seeing very clearly as they come and go. Just continue in that way now, just for a few minutes. And as you continue to focus on that very light, spacious form, with the next out breath, it's as though that image of spaciousness just gets a little bit bigger. It goes beyond the form of the body, and with that goes any sense of control or effort in terms of the mind, and you just allow the mind a short while just to do whatever it wants, to go wherever it wants. And now just gently bringing the attention back to the body, back to those feelings of contact, of touch, back to any sounds, and any other physical senses that might be particularly strong right now. And as you continue to do that, you can just gently open your eyes in your own time. Again, finishing with that feeling as though, although the exercise is finished, the quality of that visualization, of that image, that's maintained in some way. There's a sense of awareness which continues, a sense of spaciousness, of clarity which continues, from which creativity can arise at any time throughout the day today. But for now, you can just sit back in the chair, and as you do, just coming back to that idea of sort of mini moments of mindfulness throughout the day. Equally valuable are these sort of mini moments of creativity or spontaneity. And all that really means is to remember how this exercise feels. When you remember that, essentially you're bringing the mind not only back into the present moment, but you're providing the conditions for the mind to be spontaneous, for it to be creative. It's an effortless process. Simply remembering how this exercise feels, you provide the conditions. So as often as you can today, just looking for opportunities. If you can do it sort of 5 or 10 times, then that's great, and that's going to make a difference. If you can do it even more than that, then you're really going to start to feel how the momentum of this exercise can continue throughout.